looks like, huh? Downline. Okay. Pop out chat. Pop out chat. Let's go. Okay, so it looks like I'm live. No one knows. Okay, so that's cool. Hi, everybody. This is like a relaxed time at the beginning. You don't normally get a lot of that. Normally it's like pew, 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 and people are on. We're just hanging out. That's kind of cool. But let's go ahead and get to work. Ooh, Alicia F is here. Hi. All right, so yeah, I'm doing some Mothman stuff. Hashtag just moth things. I have not shared this to the Creepers page or anything, so we'll have to do that later. Or actually, I'm not going to do it later. Just maybe just me and you hanging out, Felicia. Maybe that's all it's going to be, and that's okay. You're good company. Ooh, and Susan Atai is here. And there you go. Hello, Christine Salvati, Ken Zarish, Ron Ships, Zach Weichman, Mike Trzanowski, Kalisha F, Scuba Steve, Ellis Fire, Michelle Schulte, Rodney Pope, John C, Rob O'Brien, Michael J. Lassiter, Chad Smith, John Sheffield, Tom Everard, I think. Did I say that right? Good to see you. I don't recognize that name. Doesn't mean you're not on a lot. But I don't always get to see the names, you know. Philly G, Stanley S, Kim Beady-Eyed Brad Kennedy. It was me and Kalisha hanging out for a long time. It was just me and Kalisha. That was it. And then Pops in the Tube, Sons of Wayne, I See Monsters, Cobwebs and Candlesticks. Hello. Okay. Edson Juice. In the show, you got to say his name 3 times. Edson Juice, Edson Juice, Edson Juice. Then he shows up. Christopher Lazote, good evening. All right, I do need to make these letters bigger because I'm old, it turns out. All right. Hello, Ezekiel Bradshaw. So over here, I have the moth that I was working on the other day. Here we are, the Mothman of the universe. Yeah, how that goes. Okay, and his antennae are a little floppier than I'd like. I may back them with a little bit of wire and hot glue it in so that they're a little more posable, because they have wire in them, but they don't have a lot of wire in them. One of the things that you should always have in your shop is floral wire, because floral wire is very useful. Just nice strands of floral wire. Normally it'll come in sticks, it'll come on a roll or in just pieces like that. I'm gonna fold this in half so I can just reinforce kind of the bottom of it. Correct. I don't have Super Chat because it's a new channel, but I do have, well, the PayPal link. You know what? I don't have a PayPal link on this channel yet. I'm a fool. I'll put a PayPal link up there. Or just go to Patreon. Go to my Patreon and subscribe to that. Whatever you're doing at Super Chat, just be a Patreon member for that long and then stop. Ceiling wire would work, but it's going to be a little bit heavier. I see Warren Maxwell popped on. Hello, sir. Good to see you. I am. Oh, Rebecca's on time. Yes. Hello, living on the bluff. Good to see you. I'll tell you what. So, one of the ways that I know you guys is from your. Hello, Stacy. One of the main ways I know you guys is from your YouTube picture, whatever that YouTube profile is. And I always love getting comments from Living on the Bluff because it's her YouTube profile picture is such a smiling face. It's like she's so happy to be there. There are lots of creepers on. Oh, I see Tutwork Studio. Anox on a moon. You are on. That's great. I'm turning on my hot glue gun so that I can reinforce these antenna with wires. Yes, antenna is spelled A-T-E-N and then like 6 N-A's in a row. Antenna. Yeah, if you look at their YouTube, like profile pictures, you know? Yeah. Stacy, you're excited for shop tomorrow? You're excited to come to work in the shop? It's not a drudgery post thing that you have to do. I am very, very close. If you look over here at my wall of orders, like all of those are orders, and I'll have 2 more knocked out tonight, and then I'll be able to I'll be able to knock out that whole thing real soon, and then I won't have any orders. But that's okay. This is the time for me to run out of orders because I gotta work on Transworld stuff. Sweet. Gray is coming. Hide your kids. Hide your wives. Gray is coming. All right. Hello, Rylan Chow. Did I say that correctly, Rylan? Chow? Sorry. But I haven't seen you on before. It's nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. Maybe you have been on. I don't always see names on comments. A lot of the times I'm really busy working. I should always be working. Sometimes I don't, apparently. All right. So why don't you come over here? What? I've been live. I told you I was going live about 7. Come on in. Come on in. It's very cold out.
Okay.
All right. And now I have the wife.
Are you working on our club boy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
A lot of people are saying, hey, wife,
Hashtag.
is the Mothman going to be like Frank? The Mothman is going to be the Mothman. I mean, it's a bust. So it's not a mask, it's a bust. It's not a wearable mask. It is a mask that I've turned into a bust. Yeah, I was a little later going on, but not too much later.
We've been on 9 minutes.
Yeah.
Good for the day. I finished my Krampus Nutcracker today, says Cobwebs.
That is awesome. You know what the world needs? More Krampus nutcrackers. It's true. Ask anybody, they'll tell you.
I'll ask.
And I'm putting it a little bit further away. I'm putting it not like right on top of the wire that's there, because even having them have to come together like this is going to make it more stable. And then I'll glue that right back into there, and that'll be hidden, but it'll add support.
Picture's good.
Okay.
Picture's real good.
Good. If you are here and you are doing comment-a-ronies,
I will watch the, so I'm just gonna kind of move it when I see it, okay?
move
If I s-
what?
If the camera is off,
Oh, mostly I'll be moving it, but you know, if you need me to.
oh, that's great, Calicia, great.
What's that?
So we found the fruit cake recipe and started grabbing ingredients today. Christmas Eve is gonna smell amazing. I am so glad, I gotta tell you. Candied fruit, very seasonal, and you can get it off season by being online, but man, it's tough and it's more expensive, so it's a great time of year to make that less expensive. You can get that stuff, and then, you know, it's a seasonal thing.
You know, if you think about it, like fruitcake, it's like a power bar. You know what I mean? There's chunks of fruit in it. There's
Bourbon.
some kind of no bourbon.
There's bourbon in
No,
it.
there's
That's
don't
a
put
power
bourbon in
bar.
your power bar.
Ron Shep says there's that werewolf boring holes into our souls again.
What'd he do?
Yeah, the candied fruit is, like I said, I do a bourbon orange pecan pie for my dad for Father's Day every year, but I have to get the candied orange peel in order to make it back in December. And Father's Day in America is in June, so I have to plan ahead. It's tough to find, but you gotta have it.
Isn't it cool that we have to say in America?
Bourbon-filled power bars.
Because there's so many awesome people that are from other
Yes.
countries. Not that people from America aren't also awesome.
Yeah.
They're just awesome in the same way that we're awesome.
Fruit cake. Cobweb says, I can't even eat Dot's candy. No fruit cake for me. That's cool. This is pretty good. The power bar's giving me the bourbon.
Power bourbon. Now see,
Power
that's a
bourbon.
product that we could market. Power bourbon.
Felicia says, sounds like another recipe to post. Whatever your camera is using, it has a great picture. Yeah, it looks so good.
This is the webcam, 1080p, high def,
This looks better than the phone. Good.
Logitech. Yes, and I adjusted settings according to, I think it was Al Matra, who helped me out with some settings. And we'll see. Right now, I don't have any lag. We'll see if that holds up.
You said it out loud.
Well, I mean, this is how we do. This is gonna hurt, but
Hey, Jamie Beck.
I just gotta hold it on there.
Any special scary Christmas morning traditions at the Hobbs household? Scary traditions?
No.
Alan is very
I
excited.
am very off on Christmas Day. Like I'm off work, and what's funny is monsters are very much. I love them, but they're also it's work, you know. So, yeah.
You're very excited on Christmas morning.
Yes, I love to get presents, and I love Christmas. I love Christmas morning, and that is, you know, how can you not love it as a kid when you know you come down and I think my mom like didn't get enough toys as a kid, so I would come down and all the toys would be open and they were like set up in battle poses, like they had been played with all night. Which is fun. I didn't mind that. I didn't think it was weird.
But there would be a stack of like the back of all the figures. They would all be there. So, and you'll be shocked that I remember the most a lot of the Masters of the Universe stuff that I got. Yeah. Yeah. I had to have a talk and say, at one point it was, listen, I understand I'm getting older. I want to be very clear, I'm not too old for toys. I still want toys and action figures for Christmas, but let's be very clear about that.
Blackcraft 27 is here.
Hello, Blackcraft.
Cobweb says, for Christmas I asked for a bucket of Pale Night Productions blood. She said no.
Oh.
Well,
Now, to a degree, I understand a little bit not getting things that are work related. But I guess for many people that's not work related. Had a very interesting conversation with someone today about them. They didn't think they were very good at mask making, and I said, "Is this a business or a hobby?" He said, "It's a hobby, but you don't have to be good at it. Who cares? Do you enjoy it? Does it make you happy? Then do it because of that." And I think that when you pursue something solely because it makes you happy, I think you're going to take roads that are not commercial, and you might go down a road that ends up being something really awesome just because you're not worried about making money. You don't put out another clown mask because you think that's what people will buy and that's what you have to do. And I'm a fan of that. Okay, I have much more control over these now that we have backed them up. So yeah, that is a much better and
Mine Cook says toys are awesome. It says, gotta go eat, talk to y'all in a while.
See ya, homie.
Blackcraft says, I just turned 29 and I still collect Legos.
Yeah, Legos are big now.
Christopher Lazote says Legos are awesome, and Cobweb says Legos are freaking expensive.
I never got into Legos as a kid. I was just like, okay, yep, blocks, got it. Sticky blocks, great. And at some point tonight, I'm going to have to start doing hair, and I think I'm going to hair this guy before. Yeah, I'm going to hair this guy before I flock. The last thing I'll do is flock his antenna.
Ezekiel says, I'm 51 and I just got a Gravedigger monster truck.
Hooray!
Lego Gravedigger monster truck. Rodney Pope says, would love to know the model of the Logitech camera. It is a really good
Logi HD 1080p. That's what it says. I can show you. I can't show you what it looks like because it's. Oh, maybe I can't. Oh, I can't. I can show you what it looks like. In a very weird inception moment, that is the camera that we are using here. I'm bad at this. There we go. So there, now you know. You're armed with knowledge.
Anthony Pantano, you have an interesting perspective on life that I wish I had when I was younger than I am now. I'm not saying I'm old, but I wish I had that mindset when I was younger.
I think that there are times in life when your mindset is the only advantage you have. Certainly there are times when it's the only thing you have control over. And I've always been weird about, like, I'm not happy with this thing that I do. Well, don't do that. I'm not happy with this, career. then change it. I have always had the mindset of I kind of want to be doing what I want to be doing. And as much as, you know, a little bit here, like I'm in the limelight on this channel, I consider myself like a good lieutenant. I have an entrepreneurial spirit, but I kind of want to start a business, have it be successful, and then give it to someone. And then start a business, have it be successful, and then give it to someone. So that they can do, I want things to exist. You know, that's what I really want, is I want those things to exist. So let's plug his eyeballs in.
Ryland Chow, for making long pointy teeth, what do you recommend? Clay will be hard to clean out.
Well, okay, so when I'm sculpting teeth like this, I use something called pumpkin teeth. And pumpkin teeth are plastic teeth. Now you said long and pointy. Let me grab one or two. So yeah, these are the big pumpkin teeth, and I use these in the sculpture, and then you can mold right over them and then pull them out because they're perfectly tapered. And because they're tapered, you can mold it in plaster and remove it, and you don't have to clean the clay out. It comes in 3 sizes. This is large, and they have a medium, and then they have a smaller one. I use the most of the small ones, but it's really nice they come in several sizes. And pumpkin teeth, you can get them on Etsy. Pumpkin teeth, all one word, pumpkin teeth, on Etsy. The guy's name is Bob Connor. Good stuff. I was going to plug in eyes.
Christine Salvati says, with COVID, we just didn't have the money to buy gifts. Instead, I'm making gifts and loving it. I am too.
That's awesome.
I love making stuff.
You know what? I think that making something, it tells them that you thought about them the whole time you were making it. And that's a big deal. I'm going to kill some lights real quick just to see these lights with eyes with lights out. Lights with eyes out.
Eyes without face.
Eyes without a face. Wow, the eyes turn white. But they look red to me.
How crazy is
So the
that?
fact that they look white on camera is very interesting. But they're very red if you look at them like straight on. You'll have to.
Well, yeah, but you can still see the red outline again, so that's just the camera.
Yeah. It's
Wow,
weird that
so
it
good.
turns it. I wonder at an angle. Nope, still white. Well, that one went a little red. Look at that. That's so weird.
Yeah, that's the way Ezekiel
Anybody just joining is like, what is going on?
Ezekiel says, Alan, thanks for not doing your thoughts of the day while driving.
You're welcome, buddy. You're welcome. I've got one recorded, but I haven't posted it yet today. I'll post it after the video here. Yeah, thoughts of the day is something I'm really enjoying on Patreon.
Tom Everett, I find you to be a very big part of the teacher. Do you need to put the microphone over here?
Can you guys hear Shannon?
Like I said, I find you to be a very big part of the teacher.
I guess. I'm not comfortable being spoken nicely to, I'll tell you that. That's something that I'm going to have to get used to, or just start being a jerk. Thank you. I like what I do. I love what I do, and I'm happy with myself because I like what I do. And I genuinely want other people to be happy. And I think if that is your mindset, I think you have, honestly, a better shot at success. And I want others to succeed as much as I want myself to succeed, so other people tend to want me to succeed.
Did you go with the lighter globes for eyeballs?
I did. I actually went and I bought these are in some of the stores right now. These artificial snow globes, which are really cool because they're, you build whatever you want to build on this little piece right in here, and then you fill it with water or mineral oil, and then screw it together. But it's also the same size as this eye. So, yeah, about 4 inches.
Graph UK says Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Dragon Master.
Rodney Pope says he's loving your thought of the day.
Oh, thank you.
Oh. Michelle says jars of mulled wine have gone over very well for holiday gifts to my friends. Homemade gifts are the best. I agree. I
Yeah.
agree, Michelle. That's what I made the Still Beast crew for Christmas. A mulled wine kit. Big, obnoxious bottle of red wine and everything they needed to make it and take it home and share it. So, yeah, that was fun. Mantra. Well, are those the same eyes as last night? If not, how did you make them look so great?
Different eyes. I started over. I abandoned my plan, and I simply spray painted. These are those spheres I was just showing, and I just misted inside red paint. That's all.
Can you make your own pumpkin teeth with hot glue?
I guess you could, yeah. But if I don't have to, then I'm not gonna. If someone else will make it, I'm thrilled. A lot of times I make things because no one else is. That's why I'm making it.
And the hair is really going to set this off. Can't wait to see it finished.
That actually should be tonight.
Blackcraft says, hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas.
Hey, thanks.
Cat Swift says, the channel just showed up. I keep refreshing and nothing, and then boom, there it is.
Boom, there it is.
Third Degree says, mulled wine, holiday spirits in the truest sense.
Yeah, that is delicious. Like, I'm not a drinker, but man, mulled wine. Dang, that's tasty.
Oh, thanks, Rodney. Says, can't wait to see your sculpt once it's poured and pulled.
I had a bit of a ridge. I didn't know if I wanted it on there. Now I know I want more eyeball than I had. So, and that's why I did that lights out test. I wanted to say, am I happy with the amount of eyeball?
Lion Cook says, I made hot cocoa mix for my family this year.
Awesome.
Michelle says, seems like this is a demand now for it, and dumping anything in it is great. Yes, Michelle, that's why I was trying to be very clear on this, that it's if you can improvise with the mulled wine recipe, and please don't, you're not baking a cake, guys, it's wine. Improvise, experiment, put things in, see what you like. But
Does it taste good? Add more wine.
it tastes good. Add more brown sugar and wine. It's foolproof. I just didn't want people to think this was an exact science. It's booze. It's not an exact science. That's a quote.
Right now, bartenders are crying. They're like, it's a science. Had to get me started on that white.
Oh, that's a good song.
I'm mixing up some brown and black because where I cut those eye lids out a little bit is exposed. Those exposed lens lines. And that's why you really should trim your eyes before once you trim eyes, an easy thing to do, if you have to repair a mask or stabbing you in the eye, once you trim it, just take a black Sharpie and hit this little edge, and it'll go away. I'm using brown and black together as latex mask paint because I have it sitting right here. If I didn't have it sitting right here, then I just do a little Sharpie.
Ezekiel says you should be muted finished making mold.
I should be what?
Just munted? Ezekiel? Give me a little bit more here. Michelle says, it's so easy. I dumped white and 2 different kinds of bread, threw in apple slices with cloves, brown sugar, and away I went. Yeah. It's a holiday, guys. You're supposed to enjoy it. It's really good with apple juice, with apple cider, with some orange juice or orange peel. It's a beautiful drink. Munted equals hammered. Ezekiel. Okay, Ezekiel's giving me some Aussie slang here.
You're learning to speak Australian?
Well, yeah. He said you should be munted after you finished making mulled wine, meaning hammered.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, that is fun. Yeah, that's Susan, the next t-shirt, and it's not an exact science, it's booze. You know what? Hey buddy. A lot of times when you guys are making this and he's asking 1/3 this, 1/3 that, and it's very specific. Baking, a specific, very exact science most of the time. And when I decided to share this, I thought, you know what? I don't want you guys to get hung up that it has to be this number of cinnamon sticks and this number of oranges. It doesn't. It's a holiday drink. It's throw it in there. And when I mean anything you throw in a crock pot, you're not exact sciencing anything. And I will put that in a crock pot. In fact, tomorrow is the winter solstice, which is a very special day. And I am going to put mulled wine in before I leave for work. And I'm just going to let it go all day. And it's going to smell amazing when I get home. Now the question is, while I'm at work, will Alan get in the mulled wine right away? If he does, will he get on the internet? Yeah. Woohoo! But yeah, just let it go. Our friend Jake Farmer and his wife, they did this year, but they have a big Christmas party every year. And that's my contribution. It's not a crock pot, it's a stock pot. It's a 7-gallon stock pot of wine. Yes, do it.
Now it's the Boris show. All Boris. All the time. Actually, I'm going to do some fur work here, so I got to make a little space. And when I clean the table, I find the best way to clean the table is move all the crap off of this table onto this table.
It's terrible. I'm not watching. I can't look.
And then if I'm lucky, someone else will come and clean that table.
I'm not looking. I can't watch you. Blackcraft 27. Is the 9-volt battery hooked to an on-off switch, or do you just unplug the battery to turn it off?
Okay, so these are actually 12-volt LEDs. So these lights are nowhere near as bright as they're going to be. They're running off 9-volt right now because I have a 9-volt battery hookup, but they're 12-volt LEDs. So they're going to be brighter. And I'm leaving bare wire for the people who bought it so they can put it on a plug on an outlet. So, yeah. I forget what I was saying. And yeah, I'm leaving bare wire. They're going to hook it up to a wall wart. A wall wart being the plug that plugs in. Why come to your own?
Yes. Thank you. That would be great.
I'm in the other room. Getting a beverage.
Ezekiel is teaching us Australian slang.
All I know is that Foster's is Australian for beer. That's what the commercials say.
That's what they tell Americans.
Yeah. Drink this, we don't want it.
Tina Kusiak says we are making mule wine tomorrow for solstice too. Is that, Tina, is that mule like a Moscow mule? What is that? Is that what you meant to say? You must tell me.
Earlier I was quite cold, so I put on that big shirt. And it has warmed up in here quite a bit.
Third Degree says, second the thanks for munted, a fine word I look forward to using. Jamie Thaxton, so are you saying if we get an I love you text from Alan, he got into the wine? Yes. That's what that means.
I don't know what she was talking about while I was in the other room. Now I am concerned. You are doing me a concern.
Ezekiel says, Foster's is a lie. We do not drink it. Mask Slasher, I rely on the cleaning fairy to clean my mask areas. So far, it's not going well. Tooth Fairy seems more reliable at this point.
Yeah. There's a very funny video about a guy who's like, honey, you're doing all this housework, you don't have to. If you leave stuff on this table, go back in a couple hours and it's gone. It's magic, I don't know. You throw your clothes over there in the corner, they end up folded in your closet. Yeah, these are 12-volt LEDs.
Tina's making mold wine. They're making mold wine tomorrow night for the winter solstice. How
Hooray.
lovely! That's lovely. That's perfect. Catsmith says make mold wine like old country grandmothers cook. You add the right amount, and that is their measuring. And I love that. That's cooking with your gut. You know.
That's also how I mix paint, by the way.
That's cooking with your gut, and that's fascinating.
Well, what color do you want the paint to be?
Make it up.
Well, you add paint until it's that color. Then you're done. That's it.
Yeah, Poison Song, I saw that. The solstice is also the great conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn. I am so excited.
'Cause that's what I want, some kind of astronomical event right at the end of 2020.
Well, it's coming.
Isn't there a song about the Great Conjunction? That's my function.
You're talking about Schoolhouse Rock?
Yeah, Schoolhouse Rock.
Christopher Lazote says, here in Massachusetts, it's the tourists that drink Sam Adams.
I very much want one day to go to Transylvania, and I want to have a where Dracula was born is now a pub, and I just want to go there and have a beer. I don't especially like beer, but that's my plan. Okay.
At least it's not a comet or a large asteroid.
Yeah.
Cobweb says I'm strictly a MGD guy. Is that Mad Dog? What is that? MGD?
Miller Genuine Draft.
Miller Genuine Draft. Matt Slasher, I'm not much of a drinker, but when I do, Guinness all day. Whoa.
Yeah, whoa.
Okay. Whoa.
The more likely a drink is to be mistaken for chocolate milk, I'm more likely to drink that.
Wow.
Or chocolate shake even. That's good too. Unplug, and I'm going to move this guy over here.
Miller Genuine Draft in a bottle. Had the antenna been flopped?
No, not yet. Not yet. I got to flock in dark gray. That's what I'll be doing.
Christopher Lazote says you can stay overnight in Vlad's castle.
Well, that's actually not his castle. But yes, you can stay overnight in a castle that's like his castle. Yes. And that, you know what? All that stuff I want to do. I want to go to the market. I don't know. I've never been to Europe. I'd like to.
Cat Smith says, your dogs are not fazed by anything. That Airstream would have sent my fur babies on this evening.
Well, my doggos, they gotta put up with me, and that's not easy.
Black Crest says, High West Bourbon Whiskey is my favorite.
High West bourbon.
Cobweb says, Vlad had 5 castles. Line Cook Thor says, Jack and Coke. Ezekiel says, Vlad's castle's on my bucket list next time we go back to Sweden. Cobweb says, Turgo Vista was his main home, if I remember right. 71 people are watching.
All right. So normally I should like tape this out and do a pattern, but if I have anything, I have confidence for no reason at all. So I'm just going to wing it with a yardstick. Winging it with a yardstick is way better than not having a yardstick. So I've got 20, let's go 24.
Mass Slasher, I know you got orders to work on, but any idea when you will start Anubis? I'm interested to see you make the headdress for him.
You'll see it when I do. No. I'm actually talking with someone to make some things for them, but I haven't built them yet, so I probably should build them before I start making things. Even though I've already poured it up and I've already...
That's because you're excited.
I get excited.
That's because you're excited to play.
Yeah.
Let's see. Third Degree says Vlad was born in Sigosora. The Pianora Castle was actually one of his residences. What? I'm sure I said that wrong. Tutwork Studios.
A Knocks on the Moon!
Hopefully the new neighbors are like the dogs, not afraid of much.
Our neighbors seem very cool. I did meet them.
They don't, and we're far away from them, so they can't hear anything.
Half of 26 is 13. That'll give me a center line. Let's do that again.
Cat Swift says not to question you, but which way is the fur laid?
It's pointed towards me, so this has to be the bottom, and that's the top of the head. You normally would, and I teach everybody to put arrows on so they know. And thank you for reminding me, because a lot of what I do is internalized, and it's best for me to say it out loud so anybody watching catches on. Now I don't have to go all the way up the head here. I really just have to go to there, so that's about 20 inches. But I'll go 23.
Third Degree of Terror has booked a Romanian tour for next September.
Wow.
Wow.
I don't do things in September aside from haunted house stuff.
Hey, Paul Bennett.
Boy, that'd be nice.
Wouldn't it?
And I'm laying out a center line. And now from that center line, I know that I'm going to have the top of the head be here, and I'm just going to go like 10 inches. So I put the 5 right there. That 10-inch wide strip should carry from the crown of his head back down. If I just roll the tape measure, that tells me 10-inch wide is going to be good for about 11 inches. But I will fan it out to 14. And right now I don't have an arrow mark on
of fur direction right now on this. I'm going to go ahead and mark that fur direction.
Mass Slasher says, when the time comes, Anubis and Doom Shroom paintings, maybe?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, happy birthday, Paul Bennett.
Happy birthday, Paul Bennett. Now I'm just trying to make sure that from my center line here, I have a 90-degree angle. I'm not overly concerned with it, so I'm winging it. I did move you guys pretty far away, didn't I? It's like you're being punished.
Third Degree says, yeah, everyone in Europe holidays in July and August, so touring gets easier in September. Not changing themes at my home haunt next year, so I'll have time in September. That is great.
Okay, that's my back. That's the back part of him. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that out. This is a Roberts carpet cutter using a Persona blade.
Forrester Studio says you should turn Anubis into a Boris from Dragon Ball Super. Maybe that is.
You know what? Dragon Ball hit at a time when I was not concerned with such things. It's just something that I never got into. I couldn't name most of the characters. I think I was a little too old.
Mass Slasher says, I think when I started selling, I may just sell as their done style instead of having others. I feel like I couldn't handle the pressure. Did I read that right? I think when I started selling, I may just sell as they're done style instead of having orders. I feel
That's
like
certainly a good way to do it. I did that for many years at Transworld. I just brought 200 masks with me and sold those. Now I know I want this for the back. Top. And I make Mothman so rarely that I'm not going to pattern this. I'm just gonna, and this one's a little bit different because I kind of know what they're using it for. Okay, so this is going to go here. That goes there. That goes there. Yeah, perfect. You can tell the last thing I cut out of this fabric, or that last thing that was cut out, is a Wolfman head. 'Cause I know that pattern right there
This is the muzzle of the Wolfman, and these are the cuts for the cheekbones. Yeah.
Matt Slasher says, sorry I didn't clean the doom shroom up, dribbling and etc. Especially the mushroom. I was behind on getting him to you, so I kind of rushed it out. I figured you may tinker with it yourself anyway.
That is true. And Rue loves to Dremel seams on masks. That's one of his favorite things. And I'm approaching that lovely time when I don't have a lot of orders.
Yay, Great House Haunts. Which Dremel do you use?
Oh, use a felt bullet head. Felt tip bullet head. I'm going to give them all kinds of extra here.
Hey, Michael Lassiter?
What's that now?
I said, hello, Michael Lassiter. You're approaching that lovely time when you don't have that many orders?
I am.
What are you going to do with yourself?
Get ready for Transworld. I'm going to get ready for Transworld. Time for the big show. Everybody, it's a big show. I'm just making up this area up here. But I think this will be fine. Lifting your back leg aids in cutting.
Third Degree says, so you're full speed ahead on Transworld?
Yeah. So I make stuff for Transworld to sell at Transworld. Okay? So if Transworld doesn't happen, at least I have stuff to sell. I would rather be prepared and it happen. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. There you go. So this back is matched up, well this front is matched up to the back.
Michael Astor says, even if Transworld doesn't happen, he can still sell new products online.
Yeah.
Oh, so stupid.
I could honestly do a whole monster camp or at least a lab on hair work. The whole day, all we do is hair work. Learn how to do patterns, learn how to cut out hair, learn how to apply hair to masks. We could do flocking. I think that would be a very good lab. You know what? No lag today.
What?
No lag.
Is that an Al Batra did that for us?
Well, so I'm not 100% sure. I know that right now I have up the OBS feed. I don't have up the YouTube feed. OBS is the software that's doing the streaming.
You're doing great over here.
So I'm not sure, but I'm happy that I do not have lag. I can see what the camera's doing. I can look over and know if it's in frame. It's very helpful.
Cat Swift says, anyone want to take bets on how long before Cheney lays on the fur? Is he in here?
No, the only doggo we have is Forrest.
Let's see. Third Degree says, I would attend a fur lab. And Blackcraft says, I would attend with that lab.
Fur, hair, there's a lot to be done and to be learned.
Dirty Santa, do you think there will be a lot of new ideas at Transworld, or did everyone hit the pause button from last year?
Okay, so understand that my brain is different. My brain is different from most people. If you ask a haunter for what do you want? They're going to say, more time. I need more time. They always need more time. This year we had time. If you ask a haunt vendor, what do you wish would have been different? A little more time to get things done and polished. They had time. So, and add on to that, people are hungry for the show. They've gone without it for a year. I think it's going to be a huge show, and we ought to have ideas that are off the charts because people had time at home to learn a new technology, to learn a new skill set, to take something from a different industry and put it into ours. I'm excited. I think it could be really awesome. I've learned a ton. In this downtime. So, yeah.
Hi, Jones. Michael Lasser says, I have to go pick up my daughter. How long will you be on tonight? Oh.
I should be on until probably 10 o'clock getting this guy done. There's trouble. Jones!
Jones!
Bones Jones!
Come here. Everybody's favorite ginger. There's your boy. There's your boy. That loves his cat.
And I always say Bones Jones.
Bones Jones.
Mostly because I think of, Joe Rogan, who he was a UFC fighter.
Right.
And it was, someone Bones Jones, but for some reason the way Joe Rogan said it sticks in my head. So when someone says Jones, I say Bones Jones.
Bones Jones. Rob O'Brien, the boss, has shown up. Hi, Misty. Misty Jezereski says hello. Jones is here. Love this cat. Ken Zarish says, hey, handsome guy Jonesy. Oh, he's so handsome. He is handsome.
I don't even know if this fits. I've already put glue. I'm just putting it on there, guys.
Why are you using silicone instead of contact cement?
Because of this piece of fur and the way that it's going to go on, and how's that? I kind of want them to be able to peel it up if they need to get to wiring or anything like that. And this will go on, this will stick fast. I will also then hot glue along the edge where the two furs meet, right down there at the bottom, and squeeze that together.
Cat Swift says at conventions you sign up for multiple classes, overfill at times. Since the travel is often the most difficult part, you consider doing several labs or consecutive days so folks can do several?
Well, see, we tried that recently with, we were going to do a mask lab and then a Krampus lab. And we just didn't get a lot of interest in the mask lab. So, yeah. So we ended up combining it, which worked out. I think it was a good class. And we'll do that in the future going forward. But, yeah.
Somebody else is on the floor. Here you go, Cat Swift.
You'd have lost money, because that's Bella. Bella, Bella, Bella. Good girl. That's a good girl. Bella.
She festive. Is this for the Monster Museum?
No, this is, it's my belief, I don't really know, but I think this is going into a museum up in the Boston area or Salem. One of those.
1980. Could easily turn that into an Arthur mask from the Tick. Just add goggles.
Or just give it a human face, change everything, but leave the ferns.
Grey House Haunt says, when and if you make a mini spotlight LEDs, what do you use for tubing to hold the light?
Okay, tomato stakes. You get tomato stakes from Home Depot or Lowe's, and they're often steel. It's steel tubing, but yeah, that's what I use. Cut it with a pipe cutter. It works really wonderful. Now let's see if this guy fits, because I didn't do anything on this.
Third Degree, is that a mask for John Denley?
I don't necessarily like to reveal clients' names per se, so I will neither confirm nor deny. If they want to say that they bought it, they can.
Grey House says, Bella is so cute.
She is indeed.
Susan Attai, I love the color of that fur. It would make an awesome werewolf pelt.
Yeah, I use this for some werewolves. Yeah. We're almost out of juice. I shall return, grabbing some coffee.
Grey House, I've been using tomato stakes. I wondered if there was something better. I'm making LEDs while I watch your live.
Because they're the right size and they're cheap, I think they're one of the best things you can use. So I'm thinking that when I am live during the holiday break and the holiday lull, that I'm going to have, remember I said we're approaching that time where I have no orders. I might be able to work on my Beastman costume a little bit.
Misty Jezereski, the community theater that had the haunted house this year, so they will have another one next year unless something comes up and they are told that they can't.
Awesome.
That'll be fun, Misty. That will be fun. Where's your bandana? What'd you do with it? It's so cute.
The title of my next video will be Fat Man Drinks Soda. That's what I'll do. Truth in advertising.
You see, I did cut that big front chest piece in half, and I cut it in half because I didn't like the way it was going to wrinkle. So let's see what we can do. One of the great things about fur is that seams are wonderful. I'm just trying to hold this up as high as I can right now. So use that, tack that on.
Misty says, I suggested they make it look like a walk in the woods, have cryptids as the theme.
I like me some cryptids.
It's a great idea, Missy. Love it. Have you seen the trailer for Psycho Goreman? Lots of 80s and 90s type monsters. It looks fun.
Psycho Goreman?
Goreman. Goreman.
No, I have not. Now we'll just do that again.
Cat Swift. Alan, I must compliment you on the thought of the day. Each one has been an opportunity to pause and really think about what you said. They are not preachy, just insightful.
Oh, I try not to be preachy, and I don't even think I'm doing things right. I just don't mind telling people how I'm doing things, because I'm happy, so, you know, that's got to count for something. We have you hear the term that America has a debt problem. We have an unhappiness problem. We're just not happy people. And I think we need to do something to change that. And if you can learn how your brain works, maybe that'll help. And I don't know how your brain works, but I might not even know how mine works, but I can give it a shot.
What are you going to use to glue the eye globes in?
We'll find out when we get there. I don't know yet. Probably a little bit of hot glue, but I was thinking about painting over them with clear silicone caulk to give the eyeball itself some texture.
Did you buy the moving mats today? Moving blankets?
No, I didn't get there.
Oh, is that,
That's Harbor Freight. Okay, so this, probably the most important, is going to be right here. And it's okay to drag the backside through it, but you don't want to drag the fur through the silicone. It's kind of the way that your neck wrinkles up, that's what he's dealing with right here. Something that I've always thought was really hard to do is when you make bat wings, when you have to make something like bat wings, think about how much it has to move from here to here and how stretchy it has to be to accommodate all those motions. Insanely difficult. That's why I ended up cutting this in half, because the just the way that it has to move is difficult. I know that's the right shape to go together. Okay. And now I feel pretty good. And I can come in here with the hot glue gun. And I'll open up this seam. There's a seam here.
put it to here. I'm going to go ahead and hot glue right along there, then push those together. Grab one more hot glue stick. Give me 2 pina coladas, one for each hand. Set sail with Captain Morgan, never reach dry land. Troubles I forgot 'em, I'm leaving 'em in the sand. Give me 2.
Matt Slasher says, I like the way you made the bust and head. Big downfall of sculpting a head with the chest and shoulders is the mold size. When filled, they can be a real pain, literally.
Yeah, look at how big this finished piece is. And I just had a regular half-mass mold.
Thanks, 1980. Send the trailer so you can watch it later.
Cool. You know, what is your you know, what's your final skin? Since I know that this guy is fur, I have a lot of options.
Jamie Dexter said drink.
I was singing. 'Tis true. Now I'm running a bead of, ran a bead of caulk along the side of his head there, right at that fur line. And now I'm going to bring this up.
Sado K says, Mothman is so good.
Hey, thanks.
Cat Smith, that is a huge skill to understand what fabric can and cannot do what you need it to do. Not force it, allow it to be, and you to change your plan.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is. Materials knowledge. That's all part of materials knowledge, which is, I think it's one of the most fun aspects of what we do. Is we get to play with so many materials.
Is Mothman based off of a horror caricature?
Well, so this is my image of Mothman. This is what I think he looks like, basically. But this is what everything said about Mothman was big, glowing red eyes. That's what everything said. So I have that. And there's a little bit of, stuff in here that wasn't in the description. A lot of the time it says he has no mouth. So, well, I'm not going to do that. That's not fun.
Christina Salvati says, my man walked in and goes, does he always sing? Every time I come in, he's singing.
Yeah.
Mass Slasher, I think my cave grower mold weighs more than me. That's why I have only poured 2 so far. I plan on making more soon.
There's a reason why boy, words are hard.
You're thinking.
There is a reason why when I do my werewolves, I do the ears out of EDA foam. I want the focus to be on the face, so I don't mind a face that's not sculpted. I don't mind ears that aren't sculpted. So I know where the focus is going to be, and it's not going to be on the ears.
Hello,
So that's something I'm comfortable building after the fact. Say Horror Beauty joined us.
Our beauty has joined us.
Hello, Horror Beauty.
Christina says, you keep singing, Alan. The world needs more singing.
I don't know about that.
So I think this guy's gonna look really nice when he's all glossy, you know. Got this insect freak flag fly.
Ken Zarish says, this would look good in a nice snowfall near the mountains in a full costume. Is there a limit in styles using EVA foam?
It's hard to get something like skin out of EVA, but it's not impossible. You know, EVA foam is really good for armor. It's really good for machinery. It's really good for metal fabrication and such. And I don't mind that I'm putting hot glue right over top of silicone. Doesn't matter to me at all.
Matt Slasher says, I'm sorry, I'm in styles of ears.
Not especially. I mean, no, like especially werewolf ears. You know, you can do a real nice airbrush job on EVA. And then, you know, I fur mine. And a lot of times I'll flock the inside of the ear anyway for that nice fine fuzz.
Ezekiel says, I think we barely touched the surface with EVA. It's probably my favorite medium.
I use it a lot. It is just a nice building material. Regardless of what you're making, it's a good building material. Okay, so this guy is, to a degree, he's hairy, you know. I'm going to run some hot glue here.
Beauty says, oh, you took the red eyes out.
I did. I'll put them back.
Misty says, I love Alan's shirt.
This was actually a gift from Edson. Can you read it?
Yeah.
Yes, Edson sent me this. And I think he made it. Okay, so that side's done, that side's done. We are ready to, let's pop the eyes in, because remember I cut the eye holes bigger. I never tested to see how that looked. I never tested to see if I cut too much. And actually,
Felicia F says, you're going to make me break out my Cricut and start making shirts.
I think that's what Edson did.
Matt Slasher, I like how you sculpt characters that are used in different ways. I sculpt something, well, that's pretty much what it is.
Well, that's an option. I mean, you chose that. Now, there was also a point in my career, where I said, you know what, I have to sculpt. I need to sculpt a witch, and the only thing it is, it's a witch. I want to sculpt the quintessential witch. And because everything was a little generic, and I had to tighten up. I had to tighten up my skill set.
What's he doing? No, you got flock.
Yeah, I got a flock. I've got, there's work.
So he's looking good.
Yeah, I'm not unhappy with him. Okay.
wondering, I think I'm okay with that up there. I don't necessarily want to do a lot of fill in. Let's get his eyes back on a bat tray. I'm going to dim the light so I can see that again.
Yeah, looks good.
And they go white. As soon as all the light's out, they go white.
Well, they go light up. Yeah, they can.
I wonder if it's a white balance thing and that's the brightest thing, so it thinks it's white.
Well, it's compensating. It looks so good. That's a good shot right there.
Yeah, you can tell they're lit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Krista says that is so cool looking.
So what I want to do next, I'm going to do a little bit of airbrush on this guy, a little bit of airbrush blending. And because I'm going to do that, I am going to...
Alicia says, put it on top of the Christmas tree.
I'm not going to glue these eye orbs in because I want them to be able to pop them out and have access if they want to change out the bulbs or anything, so I'm not going to do that.
Since it's going to be a static property with that.
Right.
Ask Slasher, I pictured it black, but I'm loving the gray hair. Sometimes some things that are black kind of block detail and makes it plain looking. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Well, I mean, and honestly, in low enough light, he's going to be black. Here's something. All right. Don't start with black because it's so easy to make any color black with lighting. You change the lighting of it. If it's dim and it's backlit and it's silhouette, it doesn't matter if it's neon green. It's going to be black because you backlit it and it's in a dark space. Black is the easiest color to get in a haunted house. I don't want black costumes. I've already denied something as soon as I go black with the costume. I'd much rather have it be something that has a look, it has some texture to it, it has a little more life, you know?
Scarecrow 77 says good evening and the Mothman is looking great.
Hey, thanks.
Ezekiel says, for some reason, it reminds me of the fly from Meet the Feebles.
Oh, okay. I mean, big eyes and, you know, yeah. This is my generic insect sculpt. And one year at Dark Hour, we had Corva Hive, the Witch of Swarms. And this mask became a cockroach, it became a tiger beetle, it became a fly, it became, did I say cockroach? It became a spider. Just by changing the mandibles and changing antenna and hair and stuff. And it's a very versatile face. It's a, you know, standard insect face number 2.
That blank is on the website.
Yeah, the insect blank is on the website.
You too. But
Look at Wife selling the product.
hey, he's one of our best-selling blanks.
Is he? The insect is?
Boy, you're about to send this cat running. What are you about to do?
Airbrush. Airbrush ain't so bad.
Just keep my face away from it. Yes.
Give me 2 pina coladas.
Ezekiel says, that's why I love your sculpts. They're so versatile. Is this getting wings or no?
This is just the head that I'm making. I was not contracted to make the whole body, so I'm not.
What did you end up using for the eyes?
I bought some fake snow globes. Hey, wife, why don't you tell them about our blanks and our most popular blanks
With a
while
cat,
you pet that
with a
cat?
cat in my arms?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm telling you guys, this cat, my arm is gone asleep. But what is it about a cat that when they're in your arms or in your lap, you just don't move? I really need my arms gone asleep. But anyway, our blanks, I think our most popular blank is a tie between a pumpkin face and this insect. But recently, the LED witch has gotten some sales. Not sure why. Just, people want to try something different. And I'm hoping that when we get our paints up, that we can we do some bundles, with the blanks. People will feel empowered to give painting a blank a try, which was always the intention. When we started this in March, thinking that we were going to go to Transworld, and then this was all, the blanks that we had were just bargain bin blanks. We were just going to bring a tub of blanks and put them on the floor. People could just, go through them. And then when Transworld didn't happen, we just threw them on the website as a clearance item. I had no idea they were going to take off. And people really enjoyed buying blanks and painting them. And I think it just became kind of therapeutic because they just started selling. So we just started pouring. So what I was saying before is that I think Pumpkin Face, isn't he like 7 years old?
Yes.
That's been sitting in the backyard. It was just not even in
You can
use.
keep talking.
And somewhere he kind of got resurrected. I'm not sure. Bundles and paint, said Masano K. Scott Pointer says hello from the Alabama crew. Hard
Hello.
Beauty, waiting for bundles.
It's coming.
Scarecrow 77. You look like a Bond villain. Sitting here petting a cat.
Yeah.
Scarecrow 77, that just made my night.
He's a Bond villain.
That's hilarious. I'm a Bond villain. How cool is that?
So it's been very cold in the shop, so my airbrush is clogged because probably the stuff in it froze, or at least got real thick. So we're under a little bit of airbrush surgery.
Masada K, the fur, the mouth, and the eyes remind me of the salt creature from Star Trek TOS.
Salt vampire, yeah. That is a very rough. You know what? Metallics is what's in here. Because I had gold and brown mixed together.
Is that when you were doing the big frontis?
Yeah, big crumbles, exactly. And
Alicia says, break out the pen and the acetone.
metallics are carburetor cleaner, man. It is the best airbrush cleaner I've ever used.
Hey, Scott Creighton says, just popping on real quick to say hello.
So, buddy,
Hope everyone is doing well.
I am doing fine.
Who's whining?
Boris.
What's wrong, baby?
Cool.
Did you put red snowflake stuff in those eyes, or did you just paint them?
They're just painted. I didn't want to risk another issue.
Cat Smith says, I'm waiting for January and seeing elves, gnomes, dwarves, blanks on the website. Elves, gnomes, and dwarves.
Wow. That lump just came out. But that's a solid lump. The Thunder wasn't working. pouring. Yeah, we're clear. I tried to get several uses out of these blue shop towels before I get rid of them. So it's not uncommon to see them laid out somewhere to dry. These are not like,
Gold nuggets.
don't blow your nose in this, These are always shop use. And something like carburetor cleaner or naphtha or something, you don't want to ball this up and throw it in the garbage can. It can actually spontaneously combust. So that's why I always lay them out to dry so whatever was on there can evaporate. And then I'll use it again and then I'll throw it away. Okay, so I
DM Cash
think,
says, my son named his cat Harrison Ford. He calls him Dr. Jones.
I see.
DM Cash, is he a ginger cat? Or a black cat? Or a brown? A tabby cat? What kind of cat is he?
Yeah, what does Dr. Jones look like?
What does Dr. Jones look like, DM Cash? Let's have it. Says metal cans for soiled rag disposal, no Rubbermaid.
Yeah. And just make sure that they're good and dry. I don't know how long it's been sitting, a little bit of zombie snail action.
DM Cash says he looks like Jones. He's an orange cat. He's a ginger. Sarah R. Hi, my mother wants you to know she likes your dogs. And if she had seen Jones, that he is a pretty kitty.
Well, thank you.
Jones is right cute.
Good thing he's pretty, because he's also a jerk.
He is. Felicia F. Shirt reminder. Thanks. Headed to Teespring. Now my night is complete. Zombie snail.
Yes, that's right. There's a zombie snail t-shirt.
Says, I reckon Mothman would eat zombie snails.
I believe you're right. It's very, zombie snails are a very Mothman-centric diet item. We're just going to add a lot of depth with the dark color we've got now. It's a dark brown.
People with OCD screaming right now at the mask tilt. Anthony Fantano, what else do you have to do to the mask?
I have to gloss it. I have to flock the antenna. I have to finish up this paint that I'm doing now.
Leslie! Hey, Leslie, welcome to zone.
Leslie!
We miss you too, buddy.
Okay, so I feel pretty good about that. Let me,
He says, due to cutbacks, the zombie snail has to moonlight and escargot service.
escort go.
Yes. Love it.
Okay.
Too bad the eyes didn't work like you wanted, but I really like them like this. Good night, Ken Zarish.
Yeah, it'll work. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, so that is that. Now, let's flock this sucker.
1980. If you wanted to put a pattern on the eyes, would you use fishnet or honeycomb stencils?
I'd use something like a honeycomb stencil. I actually have a real nice stencil that I normally use for bug eyes and stuff, but I don't know what they're doing, so I'm not gonna. I want to make creative choices for them, and the guys who are getting this are plenty capable people.
Icy Monster says the sound of the airbrush would be a good sound the Mothman makes. Are you going to flocking?
We're doing that now.
Good night, Michelle.
Good night, Michelle.
Da, da, da.
Good times never felt so good.
So good, so good, so good.
Now, so first I'm going to give these a spray paint and make them gray. This kind of weather, you cannot shake your paint enough, guys.
How well does the flocking stay on?
Pretty good.
It's the can shake dance.
Now that will have to dry. I like it better darker already, I'll tell you that. I'm going to flock them in gray. And I'm going to use spray adhesive to hold the flocking on.
What is flocking?
So flocking is small fibers. They're small fibers that I shoot out of a gun, and they make it look like they're hairy. Flocking.
Is that what we're using?
Yeah. And I have been using a lot of brown. I'm going to clean this out. Put all this brown back in there. It'd be cool if the flocking gun had an opening that my hand really fit into, but it doesn't. Just blast this with air to get that brown out of there.
also gray. And once this is applied, I'll do a little bit of airbrush too to help blend that in. You don't need gloves for flocking. I just have this left over from the other thing that I was doing. If you're dealing with carburetor cleaner, you really do want to have gloves on. This material is so thin that I'm going to just clip it on as opposed to use the pin.
Brian says, guys, stick around for this. It's so satisfying. I hope the new camera setup shows it well.
Well, I'll get you guys close, okay? How's that sound?
Yeah.
I had to do that. Morally obligated. Yeah.
Grey House Haunts. I didn't like flocking, but I had the wrist of a 4-year-old. That's Jan.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's you have to shake and tap and shake and tap.
Anthony Pantano says, please pass the candy. I guess you can see your candy all in there.
Not like it. The last thing I want is a bowl of candy in the shop, but it keeps showing up.
Can you use the spray paint in the tacky state to hold the flocking?
Probably. But it is spray paint, so when it flexes, it's gonna, not hold it well.
Leslie says, so I guess it's not a good thing for me to use carburetor cleaner to clean adhesive off of my hands as much as I do.
No, you should not be doing that for sure. Stop doing that. It's really bad for your liver. This is Alan talking.
Let me get closer.
see how much different that one looks than that one? Wait about 10 or 15 seconds for the glue to get tacky.
Why do you sway the,
Okay, so this is an electrostatic flocking gun. And what this do is that when I turn it on, this creates it travels through this screen, and that creates a positive charge on those particles. This clip is attached to a negative ion generator, and it will attach to this, giving it a negative charge. So those hairs shoot in, and that's why they stand up the way they do. See it's flying out of there, and if I put this on the camera, then it'll fly that way, you know. And what I have to do is I have to get those fibers to knock around basically in there, and then they'll shoot out. Hold that. Unless you're out of fibers, which I'm pretty low. Grab some more. Well, there's not a lot coming out. Not a lot in there. Now you'll get shocked. One person, one circuit. You touch it, you'll get shocked. A good static charge, yes, I have. Every now and then I'll go to unhook it, and I leave it on. It's not good. Okay, so those are flocked. I want to pick it up, and I'm going to flock the back side of it. Okay. If it's a clip, just grab it on the back. Squeeze it like it owes you money.
Stop.
Wife knows how to aim a camera.
No.
She knows what's going on.
Quit.
This shorty got low, low, low.
So wrong. So wrong. Stop. Okay. Let me catch up, guys. Shannon Camp. Terrain builders often use PVA glue, often watered down, but they do not need our flock to be on flexible things. They sit on tables and they do not have to work on people. Scarecrow says better monsters through science. DM Cash, if you sweep it with a magnet, you can get to train in a direction.
Yes.
James Whittle, isn't that how they do the hair growing scene in American Werewolf in London?
I don't think so, but I don't know.
Good night, Cobwebs.
I mean, you'll be surprised to know I'm really not that interested in movie special effects because some of it is, yes, like the sculpting and stuff, but most of it isn't.
Until down.
I gotta work on this, baby. I'll get there.
Here.
You know, just so much of what we do, you know, I can't set stuff up the way they do on film.
And spray adhesive is enough to keep all those little fibers attached?
Yep. For a good long while, anyway. Super 77 is pretty good stuff. What breaks it down is body heat. That's why you can't really use it on costuming or anything. Body heat.
Good night, Misty.
Honey, I'm not going to say who, but I think someone just sprayed adhesive the dog. Should move.
Of course she doesn't. She's attached to the fur.
So far, these are the most wobbly things that I have spray adhesive, flocked. So,
This is now the dog to stick to the floor.
who could tell? Sorry, you guys stay down there. Think about what you're doing. I'm sorry, buddy.
Have you ever made any costumes for your animals?
No. No. I mean, I mostly costume making is a business, and my dogs just won't pay me. guys see the little rays and fibers shooting? I mean, I can't on mine, but I'm on a big screen TV,
Yeah, I can see it.
and it just sucks right through that sucker.
That's cool, honey. That's actually, you can actually see that very well because you are shooting against the, surprisingly enough, against the metal wall here your orders are, but it's dark.
Yeah.
And with that shadow, you can really see it. Christine Salvati, I finally finished painting the Christmas stocking I was working on. It was a lot of work. It's always that worry that people won't appreciate the effort that goes into homemade gifts. Sarah R. says, yes, I can see the fibers.
And you know what? To me, when you're making a gift for someone, it is very important for us to remember we're making it because we want them to have it, not because we're going to be happy they get it. Them being happy is kind of a side. That can't be the thrust of it. Because I think the best gifts are things that they didn't know they wanted, or they didn't know they needed. And then you give that to them, it's not something that they asked for, you know. Anyone should be able to make someone happy by making them something they asked for. But I was wondering how successful I was in gluing this back to the head. Pretty successful. Okay, he looks cool. Before I would have fought you on it, but now I agree. He looks cool. Okay. Sorry.
Kathy Coleman says, man, the flocking looks great. Makes all the difference.
It does make a difference.
Excuse me. Finn Godwolf, hello.
Hello, Finn. So before I do the airbrushing on these antennae, I want to look up moth antenna real quick on my computer to get a visual reference to ensure that what I'm doing is going to be okay. So here is where I'm hoping that fuzzy moth antenna isn't like some weird adult slang, and I'm going to get all these pictures that I shouldn't get.
Oh my god.
You never know. You never know what they're going to call stuff like that. Okay, so this one has black tips on his antenna.
Ooh.
That's cool. Okay, so that's what I wanted to see. Is I wanted to see a variegated antenna, meaning there's two colors in it. Okay, now I'm confident in what I'm doing. Now, is Mothman a moth? No, not really. So, but the closer to realistic I can make this,
the less work I'm making the imagination of the viewer have to do.
Are you gonna black tip it?
What's that?
Are you gonna put black tips on?
I'm gonna do a little pattern on them, I think. If I can get them to hold still.
Christine says, normally I don't worry about someone liking my gifts, but it's for my boyfriend's brother, and no one really knows what he likes. He's distant, and I just hope he likes it.
That's very cool. Well, it's cool that you're going through the effort. That's what's great. So right now I have the clear coat that I use, which is a Liquitex high gloss varnish is what this is.
Felicia says, funny that you do this after taking off the gloves. I see dark fingers.
Oh, I always have dark fingers.
Christina says, I like the flocked antenna. It really sells it.
Thanks. I think Mothman is done.
Right.
Like, I glossed him. Yeah, he's hit.
He's a beauty.
I can't put him on. That makes me sad. But I can plug his eyes in.
He's a beauty. Now, is he shipping tomorrow? Or
Yeah.
Tuesday?
Sure.
Really need to get some pictures of him. How long till he's dry?
Well, tomorrow he'll be fine. We'll ship him Tuesday. Now, let me hit the lights again. You know what? I think I want his antenna bent up. I think I like it straighter than that. I didn't think I did, but...
Oh, I love him! Oh my goodness! Oh, hey, that's so cool. What? Isn't that funny? Look, that it went white. It's the camera adjusting. Oh, I love him. Doing to send him away? We
Yes.
should adopt him.
He must go.
Oh, I love him.
Every Crazy Alan's House of Mothman. Everything must go.
I love him. Oh, he's beautiful. I'm sure we need one. Make it attached. You send them off without even telling them you love them.
No. Yeah, I think a little more up like this is good. I like that. Almost rabbity. Okay, so that's Mothman, and I think that's the day. White, why don't you say goodnight to these fine folks? Is she on camera? She is.
Good night, guys. Tonight's the last night of fall. Tomorrow's the first day of winter.
Hooray! Boris, you want to say goodnight to these people?
Good night.
Cheney, you want to say goodnight? You want to say goodnight? Okay. And now, I'm going to be far away when I say this. You'll be looking at Mothman. Cheney is caught in a cord, and it could be terrible. Here we go, bud. There you go. All right. Bella. Say goodnight, Bella. All right, everybody. I'm going to try and end this stream here. So you guys are awesome. Ooh, I got to duck under the Mothman. All right, you guys are awesome. It's the holidays. Everybody's busy. Everybody's rushing. Everybody has an agenda, and they have problems that we're not aware of. Try to be nice. We also have agendas. We're also rushing. Everybody is rushing right now. Slow down, calm down, be nice, and go make stuff.